Far beyond the bright stars of the Milky Way, a small scout ship moved silently through the darkness of space. The ship belonged to Velrix, a young explorer from the planet Solara. Velrix was curious by nature. His job was to explore new star systems, meet new life forms, and learn about the galaxy. One day, Velrix's sensors detected a small cargo ship drifting near a quiet blue planet. The ship looked old and worn but still active. Velrix decided to investigate. He guided his scout ship closer, careful not to scare whoever was inside. The cargo ship's door opened slowly and a figure stepped out. Velrix had never seen a creature like this before. The figure was a human. The human was tall and wore simple clothes that looked light but strong. What caught Velrix's attention most was a strange object on the human's back. The object was a strange mix of hard and soft. It looked like armor, but not like the heavy armor Velrix knew from his own people. It shone with a smooth surface, and when the human moved, it bent and flexed gently. Velrix's curiosity grew. He wanted to understand what it was. Velrix stepped out of his scout ship and approached the human carefully. The human turned and smiled warmly. Velrix felt a strange feeling, a mix of caution and hope. The human did not seem dangerous. The human spoke, but Velrix did not understand the words. Velrix tried to use his translator, a small device on his wrist. After a few moments, the words became clear. "Hello," said the human. "I am called Sam." Velrix nodded and replied in his own language, which the translator quickly changed. "I am Velrix, from Zilera. What is this object on your back?" Sam touched the hard, soft thing gently. "This is my shield. It protects me. It is made from a material called adaptive armor. It is strong but flexible. It feels soft when I move, but it can stop a weapon." Velrix looked closely. "Soft and hard at the same time? That is new to me. On Zilara, armor is always hard and heavy. It protects but is uncomfortable." Sam laughed softly. "Humans have to be both strong and quick. This armor helps us do that." Velrix's mind raced. Could this strange armor help his people? Could humans teach them something new? He decided to ask more. "Why do you carry this armor in space? You are not in battle, are you?" Sam shook his head. "No, not yet. But space is dangerous. There are many threats. It is always good to be ready." Velrix admired the human's calmness. He wished he could be so relaxed in the unknown. Suddenly, a message arrived on Velrix's communicator. It was from the Zilara Space Council. "Alert! Enemy fleet detected approaching this system. Prepare for possible battle." Velrix's heart beat faster. The quiet planet and the drifting cargo ship might soon be a battlefield. Sam looked serious. "I can help," he said. "We can use this shield and my ship's weapons to defend your system." Velrix was surprised. The human was willing to fight for Zilara, a world he had just met. Velrix felt respect growing inside him. "Will you teach me how to use this armor?" Velrix asked. Sam smiled. "Yes, we can learn from each other." For the first time in his life, Velrix felt excited about the unknown. Not just because of danger, but because he had found a new friend, a human. The stars around them twinkled silently, watching as two very different beings prepared for what might come next. The small cargo ship drifted gently above the blue planet. Velrix and Sam sat inside, surrounded by blinking lights and strange machines. Velrix looked at the armor on Sam's back again. It still confused him. How can something be hard and soft at the same time? Velrix asked, touching the smooth surface carefully. Sam smiled. It is made from many layers. Some layers are very strong, made from tiny fibers that can stop bullets or energy blasts. Other layers are soft and flexible so the armor can move with me. It feels like wearing a second skin. Velrix nodded slowly. That sounds amazing. On Zilara, armor is hard and heavy. It protects well, but it makes moving hard. We lose speed and comfort. Sam stood up and turned slowly, letting Velrix see the armor move with his body. That's why humans made this armor. We need protection, but we also need to be fast and flexible. This armor can do both. Velrix reached out and pressed gently on the armor. It was cool to touch, smooth like glass but not fragile. It bent a little but did not break. What is it made of? Velrix asked. Special materials we made from elements found on Earth, Sam said. Some parts can absorb energy and change shape. It repairs itself if it gets damaged. Velrix's eyes widened. Self-repair? That is hard to believe. Our armor breaks and stays broken until we fix it by hand. Sam nodded. Yes, this armor makes fighting easier because it does not need much fixing. We call it adaptive armor, because it changes with the situation. Velrix was fascinated. Can I try it on? Sam hesitated for a moment but then smiled. Sure, I'll help you put it on. Velrix moved carefully as Sam helped him lift the armor from his back. The armor felt strange in Velrix's hands, both light and strong. Sam showed Velrix how to wear it like a jacket, but it hugged the body tightly, fitting perfectly. Velrix moved his arms and legs, surprised by how easy it was to move. It feels strange but good, Velrix said. Like the armor is part of me. Sam grinned. That is the idea. Suddenly, Velrix's communicator beeped again. The alert was still active. The enemy fleet was coming closer. Sam looked serious. We need to prepare. The armor is just one part. We need to think about how to use it in battle. Velrix agreed. I want to learn everything. For the next few hours, Sam explained human combat skills. He showed how to move quickly, how to use the shield to block attacks, and how to strike back. Velrix listened carefully, trying to copy every move. Humans fight with speed and brains, not just strength, Sam said. Our armor helps us do that. It is hard where it needs to be, but soft where we need to move. Velrix was amazed. In Zalara, soldiers relied mostly on strength and heavy armor. Sam's way was different but smart. As they trained, Velrix noticed something else. The armor seemed to change slightly with every movement. When he raised his arm, a part of the armor became firmer, ready to block. When he relaxed, the armor became softer. That is the best part, Sam explained. The armor senses what I need and changes on its own. Velrix looked at his own hands, imagining how this technology could help his people survive against strong enemies. After training, Velrix and Sam sat quietly. The stars outside the window were calm, but the feeling of danger was close. Velrix asked, Have you faced enemies like the ones coming here? Sam nodded slowly. Yes. Humans have many battles. We have learned to survive by being clever and using tools like this armor. Velrix smiled. Maybe your armor and your skills can help save the system. Sam looked out at the stars. Maybe, but we must work together. Humans and Zellerans. Different, but stronger if we unite. Velrix felt hope growing inside him. He had met many life forms on his missions, but none like Sam. This human was not just strong and brave. He was willing to share, teach, and trust. The enemy fleet was getting closer. Time was short. But Velrix believed they had found a chance to protect the galaxy with hard, soft armor and new friendship. The quiet blue planet below was peaceful, but Velrix knew that peace could be broken at any moment. The warning from the Zalara Space Council was clear. A massive enemy fleet was moving toward the star system. This fleet was known for its strength and ruthlessness. They destroyed everything in their path. Velrix sat with Sam inside the small cargo ship. Both looked at the stars outside the window, thinking about what was coming. We do not have much time, Velrix said. Your shield and your ship's weapons might help, but the enemy is strong. Sam nodded. We need to be smart. We can't fight them with just force. We must use speed, surprise, and teamwork. Velrix agreed. On Zalara, we usually fight in large groups with heavy armor. But your armor and tactics are different. Maybe that can give us an advantage. Sam stood up and started preparing his ship for battle. I want to teach you more about my weapons and tactics. We can use what we have and find new ways to win. Velrix watched as Sam moved quickly, checking the ship's controls and weapons. Sam's calmness gave Velrix hope. The human seemed ready for anything. Outside, the stars seemed to blink faster as the enemy fleet grew closer. Velrix felt a cold weight in his chest, but he pushed the fear aside. He had a job to do. "Tell me about your shield again," Velrix said. "How does it protect you in battle?" Sam smiled. "It can block energy blasts and physical attacks. When it senses danger, it hardens instantly. But when there is no threat, it stays soft and light so I can move freely." Velrix thought about his own heavy armor, which made him slow and tired after long fights. "I want to try that shield again. Maybe I can use it in battle." Sam helped Velrix put the armor back. And this time, Velrix moved more confidently. He could feel how the armor adjusted to his body, making every step easier. "Good," Sam said. "Now we practice fighting with it." The two spent hours training. Sam showed Velrix how to use the shield not just for defense, but also to push back enemies and create space to move. Velrix learned how to use speed and agility instead of just strength. Velrix began to understand. Humans fought differently than Zellerans. They used their brains as much as their bodies, and their armor was part of that. Suddenly, the ship's sensors beeped loudly. The enemy fleet was near. Velrix and Sam looked at the radar. Dark shapes filled the screen, hundreds of ships moving fast. "They are coming," Velrix said, standing tall. "Are you ready?" Sam nodded. "Yes. Let's protect this system." They flew out of the cargo ship in a small fighter craft, built for speed and attack. Velrix felt the power of the ship under him, but he trusted the armor and his new skills more. The enemy fleet appeared on the horizon, a wall of steel and fire. Velrix could see their weapons charging. The battle began with a roar. Lasers flew through space, bright and deadly. Velrix raised his shield, feeling it harden instantly as shots hit it. Sam fired his ship's weapons with skill, hitting enemy fighters and dodging attacks. Velrix followed, using the shield to block and then pushing forward to strike. Their teamwork was surprising. The enemy did not expect such fast and clever moves. Velrix felt the thrill of battle, fear mixed with excitement and hope. The fight was long and hard. Some enemy ships broke through, but Velrix and Sam's small force kept them at bay. The shield protected Velrix many times, saving him from harm. During a brief pause, Velrix looked at Sam. "Your armor saved me. I can feel its power." Sam smiled, tired but proud. "It's not just the armor, it's how we use it. Together we can be strong." Velrix nodded. "I believe that now." The enemy fleet began to slow, confused by the unexpected resistance. Velrix and Sam's small team had bought time for the system's defenses to prepare. As the stars around them glowed softly, Velrix felt something new: hope. The galaxy was dangerous, but with friends like Sam, maybe humanity and Zellara could survive and even thrive. The battle was far from over, but for now they had won a small victory. After the fierce battle, the stars outside the small fighter's window seemed calm again. But Velrix and Sam knew the fight was not over. The enemy fleet was still near, and more challenges waited ahead. They had bought time, but now it was time to get stronger, together. Back on the blue planet's surface, Velrix and Sam met with a group of Zellaran defenders. The humans and Zellarans shared stories and plans. Velrix noticed how different their worlds were, but also how much they could learn from each other. Sam took the time to teach Velrix more about human technology and tactics. They worked side by side in the training room, a place filled with tools, screens, and practice weapons. "Your armor is amazing," Velrix said, flexing his arms while wearing the adaptive shield. "It helps me move fast, but I still feel new to it." Sam smiled. "It takes time. The armor is smart. It learns from your body and adjusts. You have to learn to trust it." Velrix listened carefully as Sam explained how the armor worked. "It has tiny sensors that watch your movements and the environment. If you are about to be hit, it hardens to protect you. If you need to run or jump, it stays soft so you don't get tired." Velrix was amazed. That is very different from our heavy armor. It protects, but it slows us down. Sam nodded. Humans fight with speed and brains. We can take hits, but we use smart moves to avoid most attacks. Velrix wanted to try more. Sam showed him how to jump higher and run faster while wearing the armor. Velrix felt the difference immediately. The shield moved with him, helping him stay balanced and safe. Try this, Sam said, throwing a small ball that looked like a training tool. Catch it while moving. The armor will help you. Velrix reached out quickly, catching the ball. He smiled. I can feel it helping me. They practiced for hours, running, jumping, and dodging. Velrix began to understand the true power of the hard, soft shield. It was not just protection. It was freedom. Outside, the enemy fleet was still far, but their presence was a constant reminder. Velrix and Sam knew they had to be ready for the next attack. One day, during a break, Velrix asked Sam about human courage. How do you stay brave in such dangerous fights? Sam thought for a moment. We remember who we fight for, our families, friends, home. That makes us strong. And we trust each other. Velrix nodded slowly. On Zalara, we fight for our people too. But sometimes fear can make us slow. Sam smiled kindly. Fear is natural, but if you use it well, it can make you sharper, faster. The armor helps, but courage comes from inside. Velrix looked at the armor on his back. It was hard and soft, strong and gentle, just like the courage he was learning. Later, Velrix met other Zalaran soldiers who tried the adaptive armor. Some were surprised by how light it felt. Others were amazed it could fix itself after damage. One soldier said, "This armor could change how we fight. We could move faster, survive longer." Velrix agreed. Yes, but we must train hard and learn. The armor is only part of the battle. Days passed, and Velrix and Sam became closer friends. They shared meals, stories, and laughter. Velrix learned about human customs, and Sam learned about Zalaran history. The bond between them grew strong, a symbol of hope for both their worlds. Then one evening, alarms sounded. The enemy fleet was launching a new attack. Velrix put on his adaptive armor, feeling more confident than before. Sam checked his weapons and smiled. Ready? Sam asked. Velrix nodded. More than ever, as they prepared to face the enemy again, Velrix thought about everything he had learned, about armor, courage, and friendship. The hard yet soft shield on his back was more than a tool. It was a reminder that strength could be gentle, and gentleness could be strong. The battle ahead would be tough, but Velrix was ready to face it. Together with Sam, he would fight not just for survival, but for a new future, one where different worlds could come together and grow. The enemy ships entered the star system like shadows across the stars. Their engines hummed with power, and their weapons glowed red, ready to fire. This time they had brought more ships and more strength. Their goal was clear: complete destruction. Velrix stood at the edge of the base, wearing his adaptive armor. Around him, other Zalaran soldiers prepared their weapons. Some now wore the new armor, gifted and trained by Sam. They moved with more speed and confidence than ever before. Sam walked beside Velrix, checking the battle map on his screen. They are splitting into 3 groups. One is heading toward the planet. The other 2 are targeting the defense satellites. Velrix frowned. If they break the satellites, we lose protection, and if they reach the planet, innocent lives will be in danger. Sam nodded. We need to act fast, but we can't be everywhere at once. Velrix looked at the map, thinking. Then he pointed. We divide our forces. I'll lead the Zalaran squad to protect the planet. You take the human fighters to hold the satellites. Sam agreed. Let's stay connected. We'll win only if we fight as one. As the ships prepared to launch, Velrix turned to his team. This is not just about us. We fight for both worlds now. We have new armor, new skills, and new allies. Use them well. Fight smart. The Zalaran soldiers nodded. Many of them had once feared human technology, But now they trusted it, and trusted Velrix. Their small fighter ships lifted into the sky, engines blazing. Velrix led the charge toward the planet's atmosphere, while Sam's group flew toward the satellites. The enemy noticed them quickly. Dark ships swarmed like angry bees, firing red blasts in every direction. Velrix raised his shield as they passed through the first wave of enemy fire. His armor hardened just in time, saving him again. "Stay in formation," Velrix shouted. "Use your speed. Block when needed, but keep moving." The Zelaran squad used their training well. The adaptive armor made them faster than before, able to dodge and strike with new skill. Enemy ships began to fall one by one. At the same time, Sam's group reached the satellites. The enemy fighters were already attacking them, trying to destroy the power sources that protected the system. Sam flew fast, weaving between enemy blasts. "Cover the satellites," he ordered. "Don't let them break the shields." His team followed. Lasers lit the sky as both sides clashed in the cold silence of space. Sam's hands moved quickly across his controls. His ship spun, dived, and fired back with perfect aim. Back near the planet, Velrix's team was holding the line, but just barely. More enemy ships had arrived. Velrix saw his squad getting tired. "We need to end this fast," he said, looking at the enemy command ship ahead. It was bigger and slower, but heavily armed. Velrix called Sam. "We have to take out their command ship. It will confuse them and give us a chance." Sam answered, "I see it. Let's attack it together." The two teams flew in from different sides. Enemy ships tried to stop them, but they were too fast. Velrix used his shield to block blasts as he cleared the way for others. Sam targeted the weak spots on the command ship. "Aim for the NO. Guines," he said. Velrix flew straight at the center of the ship. His armor glowed bright as it absorbed energy from enemy fire. Then, he released that energy in a powerful strike. The command ship shook. Explosions burst across its surface. Slowly, it began to fall toward the planet's surface, out of control. The enemy fighters saw it. Confused and leaderless, they began to retreat. A cheer filled the communication line. "They're running!" one Zelaran shouted. Sam grinned. "We did it." Velrix let out a deep breath. "Not just us. Everyone did. Together." The enemy fleet pulled back. The star system was safe for now. Later, back on the surface, Velrix and Sam stood before both Zelaran and human soldiers. The mood was light, hopeful. Velrix spoke. "Today we proved something important. Different worlds, different ways. But when we work together, we are stronger than any enemy." Sam added, "This victory isn't just about weapons or armor. It's about trust, teamwork, and courage." The crowd clapped and cheered. Many soldiers, human and Zelaran, now stood side by side like brothers and sisters. Velrix looked at the sky. The danger was not gone forever. But now they had something new. A bond between species. A promise to stand together. The war was not over, but hope had begun. The blue planet's sky glowed with the light of distant stars as Velrix and Sam stood side by side on the surface. The battle had been won, but the cost was clear in the faces of the soldiers around them. Both human and Zelaran warriors were tired but proud. Velrix looked at Sam. "We fought well, but I feel this is just the beginning." Sam nodded. "Yes. The enemy will return. They never give up so easily." Velrix thought about the future. The new armor had helped, but it was more than technology that won the battle. It was trust between two very different beings. "Sam," Velrix said quietly, "how do humans build trust? How do you learn to work with others so different from yourself?" Sam smiled softly. "It is not easy. Trust grows slowly. First we share small things like food, stories, and help. Then we learn to rely on each other. We listen and understand." Velrix nodded, thinking of his own people. Zelarans were proud and strong, but sometimes slow to accept others. "Maybe that is why some soldiers doubted your armor," Velrix said. "They were afraid of change." Sam shrugged. "Fear is natural. Change can be scary, but without trust, no team can win. Velrix decided to act. He called a meeting of human and Zalaran leaders. Together, they talked openly about their fears and hopes. One Zalaran elder said, "We must learn from each other. Our strengths and weaknesses can balance, but it takes time." A human commander added, "And respect. Without respect, trust cannot grow." Velrix felt hope rising. The conversation was honest and open. For the first time, the two species shared not only weapons, but hearts. After the meeting, Velrix invited Sam to explore more of the planet together. As they walked, Velrix showed Sam the strange forests and glowing rivers of Zalara. Sam looked around in wonder. "Your world is beautiful. So different from Earth." Velrix laughed. "Yes, but every place has its own beauty." They talked about their homes, their families, and their dreams. The armor on Sam's back seemed less strange now. It was a part of a human story, one of survival and hope. Suddenly, Velrix stopped. "Sam, I want to teach more Zalarans how to use your armor and your tactics, but I need your help." Sam smiled. "I want that too. Together, we can build a better defense. We can protect both our worlds." For weeks, they trained more soldiers. The armor was passed from hand to hand. Slowly, the fear of change turned to excitement. Soldiers shared stories of their first fights with the adaptive armor, how it felt, how it saved them, how it made them stronger. Velrix watched proudly as the small team grew into a real force, fast, smart, and united. One day during a training session, a young Zalaran soldier said, "This armor feels like a friend, not just a tool." Velrix smiled. "Yes, it is hard and soft, like trust itself." Sam nodded. "Trust is the real shield. It protects us more than any metal." Their friendship became a symbol for the whole system. Humans and Zalarans working together, learning from each other, and growing stronger. But beyond the training rooms and the quiet forests, the stars waited. The enemy fleet was still out there, watching, planning. Velrix and Sam knew this was only the calm before the storm. But now, they were ready, not just with weapons and armor, but with trust and hope. Together, they would face the future. Together, they would protect the galaxy. The dark clouds of war still hung over the galaxy, but on the blue planet a new light was rising. Velrix and Sam stood side by side, watching the sunrise paint the sky in colors neither had seen before. It was a quiet moment, but full of promise. The battles had been many, and the enemy still lurked beyond the stars. But the greatest victory was not a destroyed fleet or a captured ship. It was the bond between two very different beings, humans and Zalarans, united by trust and hope. Velrix adjusted his armor, feeling its soft yet strong layers move with him. It had become part of him, a symbol of change and strength. Sam looked at his friend. "We did not just survive, Velrix. We grew." Velrix smiled. "Yes, but there is more to do. Our worlds need peace, not just victory." They had spent months rebuilding the defenses of the star system. Together they had trained soldiers, shared technology, and built a new kind of alliance, one that crossed the stars. But peace was fragile. One morning, alarms sounded across the base. A small fleet of unknown ships entered the system. They were not the enemy they had fought before. These ships were sleek, faster, and different. They did not attack immediately, but waited. Velrix and Sam stood ready. "Who are they?" Velrix asked, eyes scanning the radar. Sam shook his head. "I don't know, but they are not here to fight us, at least not yet." The new ship sent a signal, a message. Velrix and Sam decoded it carefully. It was a request for communication. The unknown fleet wanted to talk. Velrix looked at Sam. "This could be a chance for peace or a trap." Sam nodded. "We have learned to listen. Let's see what they want." The leaders met in the communication room. The new fleet's commander appeared on the screen. a tall, silver-skinned being with wise eyes. "We come in peace," the commander said. "We have watched your struggle and your unity. We offer friendship and alliance." Velrix felt surprise. The galaxy was larger and more complex than he had imagined. Sam smiled. "We welcome friendship. We know that strength grows from unity, not war." The two groups talked for hours, sharing stories and ideas. The new fleet spoke of other star systems, other threats, and hopes for a better future. Velrix realized that the hard and soft armor on his back was a perfect symbol, a balance of strength and flexibility, like the new alliances forming across the stars. After the meeting, Velrix and Sam walked outside. The sun warmed their faces. Velrix said, "This is a new dawn, Sam. Not just for us, but for the galaxy." Sam nodded. "And it started with a question. The hard yet soft thing on my back." Velrix laughed. "Yes, that question led to friendship, courage, and hope." As the blue planet turned slowly beneath them, Velrix knew that the future was uncertain, but brighter than before. Together, humans and Zalarans would face whatever came next. Together, they would protect the galaxy. Together, they would build a new world, one where strength was not just in armor but in trust.